one of my favorite movies and most underappreciated movies, in my opinion, for my generation is Heat. If you've never seen Heat, go watch it. Heat was made by Michael Mann. Had Al Pacino, Robert De Niro going head to head in like a crime thriller. And this was actually the first movie. Pacino and De Niro both in The Godfather, but they never shared a scene together. So this was the first movie that they actually shared a scene together in. And again, Michael Mann, just legendary director. Well, it turns out that they're making a Heat 2 as far as it stands. And Leonardo DiCaprio, Austin Butler, Adam Driver, and Bradley Cooper are all circling it to play it. So this comes from Hollywood Reporter, and it says, Heat 2, the high-profile Michael Mann follow-up to the 1995 crime drama classic, is getting a new home, ensuring that the ambitious and buzzy feature project will be getting made after all. It goes on to say that United Artists, the Amazon MGM Studios division, is in talks to pick up the project from Warner Bros. After the latter let the movie be shopped in August when it was unable to agree with Mann on a budget. So it goes on later to say that the initial budget proposal that Mann wanted was at $230 million, according to a source. But then they eventually talked about it and got it down to $170 million. But then Warner Brothers wanted it even lower at like around $135 million or $140 million. So they didn't end up moving forward with it, but I guess they allowed it to be shopped around because now United Artists has picked it up, which is the Amazon MGM studio. And yeah, the rumors right now, I don't know if it even says it in this article, is that Leo is attached to play an older. So in the first one, there was Val Kilmer's character. He was like De Niro's right-hand man. And so they were like the bad guys. But it was like nuanced bad guy. But Leo is set to play him. That's what the rumors are right now. And then Austin Butler is going to play like a younger him. So basically what they're doing, they're kind of doing like a prequel and a sequel all in one movie. Again, that's how there was a book, Heat 2. I haven't read it, but that's what they did in the book. So a lot of people think that they're just basically going to adapt the book into a screenplay. And so I guess you have, it shows like the beginning of them doing their crime career. And then it shows Pacino's character, who's the cop, who's kind of doing the cat and mouse game with them throughout the movie. And Austin Butler, they think, is going to play the younger Val Kilmer character. And then, you have the original Heat, like where the story's at, but then they're going to do a sequel. And then Leonardo DiCaprio is doing like what came after. And, so Val Kilmer's character would be a little bit older. And then I don't know Bradley Cooper. Nobody, again, this is all just speculation. But the reports are that Bradley Cooper is going to be in it as well. And I'm curious if he doesn't play Pacino's character, like an older version. But then Adam Driver's also attached. And so I'm curious if Adam Driver would play a younger De Niro in it, or if he'd play a younger, what is his name? Hana, I think, was Pacino's character's name. But either way, I'm just absolutely pumped about this because, again, Heat 2 was one of the most impactful, influential movies in this space. It came out in, I think, 95. And, like, for instance, Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan says in interviews that he basically just copied Heat as Dark Knight. That was, like, his main inspiration. And it's just a phenomenal movie. And it's really interesting that, I don't know, that Mann wanted a $200 million budget because, as we've seen, these movies are struggling to make money. That's just the reality. Movie theaters aren't as popular as they used to be. Streamers have come in and made a big dent. People are just staying home watching movies. Things like TikTok, YouTube, they're indirectly taking people's attention. And so, people want to stay home and doom scroll TikTok instead of, go to the movies. So we'll see if he gets a $200 million budget. I don't know if it'd be smart to give him the $200 million budget. I would see like if they could get it down to like the 130, I think that's good. But they're going to have to do a big payday to Leo. If Bradley Cooper's in it, big payday. Austin Butler, not as big, but still. And then Adam Driver, yeah, big payday. So I don't know. That it's interesting. I just don't think that they would greenlight it at 200 million unless they have good strategies and deals set up on the back end to make money through streaming rights, licensing, all the additional revenue streams that they'll make it back from. So anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think that this movie, would be popular enough and have enough people come out and show up to it at, a $200 million budget? Or do you think that it's not going to be that popular? And I think a part two to that question is, do you think that Leo and Bradley Cooper and, these big time movie stars, do you think that they have the pull to be able to get those type of numbers out to the movie theater? Because a lot of people from my generation don't really know what Heat is. So the idea of doing a $200 million IP, but it's not really IP because a lot of people from my generation don't know about it, that's a risky move. So let me know what you guys think in the comments /chat, and we'll move on to our next topic. Hey, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like that and you want to stay up to date with more movie news, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, as we'll be keeping you up to date. And if you want to watch the long form podcast version of this, go into my channel, go to the videos, and then look for a video that is 45 minutes to an hour and a half long, and that'll be the full podcast. Thank you so much, and God bless.